Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.
Merry Christmas, kids. This is your werewolf speaking, and this is Werewolf the Podcast with episode 81. The water falls from the sky like a waterfall. It's as though the ocean is trying to retake the land by parachute drop. I am currently running through a small village somewhere in fucking Russia with sheer panic in my heart, trying to catch up with the horrific creature before me. The tarmac is a river and my pelt is soaked to the skin. Well, I know it sounds like I'm being a bit nitpicky, but usually the water doesn't get through this fluff to the skin, and it was now really wet. And I shouldn't say I like it. I should not have been out there in this shit, but had to get this thing done. I give myself a big doggy shake to freeze some of the collected water. It doesn't help. This fucking rain. Not just rain. This was fucking rain. Russians do everything more violently, including the weather. So not am I only pissed through and pissed off, but it makes the passage of the creature that I am trying to chase hard to follow, as the water cleans the land and removes the scent as it runs before me. So it's a bit of a fucker to find. It would take all or even more than my special senses to catch this fucking thing. The beast I follow is, let's say, a bit pissed off. Well, the beast I follow is really pissed off. No, not just even really pissed off, but just like the rain, fucking pissed off. It was easy to tell how angry the animal was. I didn't need a destructor. I could tell with the bloody messes left around behind it. That mess there I think was once a human. I think. It is currently strewn on the side of the road. I think it was human. Although with the pulverised remains, it's quite difficult to tell what it once was. It's definitely dead though. The next bloody heap is a bloody human heap for sure. I can tell this because humans are normally the only things that wear Nike trainers, I believe. However, is that one video with that bear wearing Jordans on YouTube? But this mushy mess pile was not a bear. Nor was that pile over there. Neither was that pile over there, nor that one over there, or somehow that pile in that tree. Do bears wear glasses? As I get distracted by the mess and work out how pissed off the committer of the deeds must have been, as I say, very pissed off to judge by the damage, a raging roar in the near distance brings me back into the moment. The roar is punctuated by the screams of the newly dying and injured. There's the crashing of cars and, strangely, a quack of an enraged duck. Definitely a duck. Definitely weird. As I turn in the direction of the noise, out of nowhere at head height comes a flying wheel of some destroyed Moscovich 407, a classic Russian car. Shame it died. But like the duck, I duck, and it rebounds off a wall and lands rubber side down, hopping and rolling down the road in a somewhat comical way. Was it thrown on purpose? Oh no, they're properly pissed off. Right, back to the chasing of the beast. It was getting easier as we got into an area with a higher populace. Well, it had a higher populace until this wee white beastie had done some population, how do we say, management. It seemed like she was taking her time doing the managing as well. It was like an aftermath scene from a bad horror B movie. The rain had created lots of little streams and rivulets that flushed the quivering remnants of people away down into the gutter. It looked like the rinsed off mess of a busy day at a slaughterhouse. Lots of bits of people being flushed out, and strangely, one half of a duck. Half a duck. That's like that one shoe you get in the middle of the motorway. Why one shoe? I never get that. Following the path of death and destruction, I turned the corner of the street to see a beautiful sight. The white werewolf mauling a small group of running and screaming humans. It was doing plenty of killing. A quick smash of a paw here and death. The crunch of a mouth there and a death. She gently lifted a small screaming girl while she was running, only briefly stopping to tear her in two on the next street corner. The girl literally separated into two halves by ripping her legs apart like the wishbone from a turkey. The amazingly sickening thing is then, the beast used one half of the dismembered child to hit another man as he was trying to get up from the ground. I've never seen anyone beaten to death with another person. Well, sorry, half a person. Sadly, the half a girl breaks into bits during the beating, and before she kills the whimpering man on the ground. She finishes the beating with the remnants of a left leg that is very floppy and wet, which means it takes a long time to beat him to death. Arg, biff, arg, biff, arg, biff, biff, arg, biff. Silence. Arg, biff. After the last biff, the monstrous werewolf throws the leg remnants behind itself and howls and screams into the night in a full werewolf pose that you can use your amazing imaginations to build. She has saliva flying from her lips. Let me describe what stands before me. A figure in white that points at me. I turn round quick and start to run. Find out I'm the chosen one. Wait. This is turning into the Black Sabbath song, Black Sabbath. Sorry. Back to the werewolf before me. Well, let's start with her pelt. The fur that swathes the creature's body is snow white. It is so white, it shines in the dull evening light. It would normally be a polar white, but now it is bloody and spattered in loose bits of flesh from the night's work. Luckily, the rain is rinsing the mess from her fur, turning her into a cute, light pink horror fiend. The result is somewhat amusing, a slightly pink werewolf. It really looks like it'd been in the washing machine with that errant lost red sock. Now that's a horror that fills my nightmares and keeps me awake. Red stained laundry. Her eyes are deep green jewels, filled with the glitter of 1,000 lost souls. I may have romanticised that a bit. I have to be careful in case my own soul ends up going the same way. What am I saying? I'm already lost in them. The rest of her is challenging to describe, as only the eyes grab me. Just the eyes. It would be best if you didn't focus on the eyes. Shit. I focused on the eyes. Thunder breaks in the background, and I break my hypnotised stare at the emeralds shining in the skull of the creature before me. I shake my head and we stand across from each other in a moment. In the background of our standoff, the rain beats and the thunder cracks as the sirens of the oncoming emergency services join in with the crying and the groaning of those not quite dead. I am only focused on the monster. I pathetically, in my werewolf form, raise a hand in an attempt to gain attention, like some stupid school kid. How embarrassing. So I transform back into my human form and try and talk. "Hey, honey," I say pathetically. "Look, I'm really sorry." And that's when she threw the bus at me. Well, it wasn't an entire bus, it was just the side of a bus. She span and ripped a panel away from the vehicle and threw it at me like a frisbee. I was not quick enough, and the metal hit me and wrapped around my body, sending me sprawling into the pools of water, mud, blood, and sending a mini tsunami with surfing filth away from my impact. My blood now mingles with the water, and I have to shake my head clear to try and get back to some level of normality. I lift it from the pool and sit still for a while as I run through my thoughts. What the fuck am I going to say? Shaking my head to clear the water, I wipe my face clean of the dirt. Well, I smear it a little more around my face. I am now lying prostrate in the mud, the guts and the blood, looking up at her. Definitely not a position of power. Or any kind of position, really. I have to wait. My jaw heals and I feel my last teeth plink back into place. I now look at her and smile. She is in her human form again and standing over me with her arms crossed across her perfect, naked breasts. Those damn perfect breasts. "Darling, I am so sorry," I offer as I supplicate myself before her. I could hear Fen, my posset, giggling in the back of my head. You're so fucked, mate." The rain now seemed to hit even harder, making it difficult to make myself heard. "You have got so much begging to do, you bastard," she snarled. The joys of werewolf love. Arguments between you are on such a different level. Thanks for listening. There are loads of links down in the description if you'd like to have a look at that. There's a Facebook group. You can get my Twitter handle. There's a book. And if you want to support the show, there's a little link there to buy me a coffee. That would be great. Thanks to all those that have already done that. It's amazing. Have a good Christmas and New Year. Love you. Bye.
Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.